This is BNN.
BRUIN News Now is made possible by the generous support of C Spire, St. Dominic's, Orange Theory Fitness, Bank Plus, the Comprata family, and these fine sponsors. This week on the show, engineering students build the Rube Goldberg machines. BRUIN football stays on the road tonight with a game in Meridian. Going to the game tonight, expect a crisp all night. Weather, sports, and all the news are next. BRUIN News Now for Friday, October 14th, 2022 begins right now. From the BNN headquarters on the campus of St. Joseph Catholic School in Madison, this is Mississippi's high school news leader, the award-winning, student-produced weekly newscast, BRUIN News Now.
Happy Friday, St. Joe. I'm Connor Odom.
And I'm Emerson Irwin. We are finishing the first week of the second academic quarter, and I think it's safe to say everyone is used to the daily school day routine after finishing the first quarter.
Classes are in full swing, and sports and other activities on campus. Homecoming is come and gone. Halloween is a couple weeks away. Thanksgiving is rapidly approaching, and winter sports are about to start.
Even classes are hard at work on major projects. One pretty interesting one is underway in the engineering class. For the past 4 weeks, students have been studying mechanical engineering.
And they have built their own Rube Goldberg machines. You know, a chain reaction type machine that is designed to perform a simple task in an overly complicated way. The machines can be a lot of laughs to watch.
BNN's Paige Loyakino spent some time talking with students and watching their machines at work. She takes a closer look in this report.
Starting off with a tire pump, and it blows a marble down a ramp and it hits a
The past few weeks, the engineering class has been busy constructing Rube Goldberg machines. A Rube Goldberg machine uses kinetic energy to create a chain reaction to perform a simple task. For one group, this task entailed turning off the light switch. To some, it may seem pointless to take a task as simple as this and construct a complex machine to do the job. But this project was a great way for first-year returning teacher Mr. Chris Callahan to teach some of the principles of engineering.
Mainly taught us a lot about the ideal mechanical advantage and how to calculate it. It also taught us a lot about the hands-on process to incorporate 3D prints into your machines and how to 3D model those machines on a computer.
First, the students were tasked with clearly defining the steps of their project. This entailed drawing detailed sketches and laying it out in step-by-step function. They then had to multi-view sketch out their machine. Next, the teams were able to construct their machines, which were required to incorporate 2 simple machines and 1 3D printed model that the team designed themselves. And finally, it was time for testing. Sometimes things failed, but the teams made adjustments to achieve their end goal of completing the task.
The testing went great. Most all of them completely went all the way through in their 3 runs. I think we only had one that missed the very, very last step, so they all went very well, and they were a lot of fun.
Not only was this project a great way to help students better understand engineering for their time in the class at St. Joe, but also for those students who would like to make engineering a career in their future.
For this project, we had to learn to 3D print, multi-view sketch, and do isometric views, which not only helps us later in our projects. For each one we have to do part of that at least. If you become an engineer or do something in physics, you have to be able to do a multi-view sketch and an isometric view to present to someone before you even get to start building it. And once you build it, 3D printing is one of the best ways to construct small and new ideas. If they don't exist, you can just build them in 3D.
It may only be the beginning of the year, but these students have already learned a lot, and it was fun to track their progress throughout this project. I'm Paige Loyakino for BNN.
Thanks, Paige. Those machines are something else. You know, Mr. Chris Callahan is back at St. Joe teaching engineering after being gone for a few years. It's great to see him back here and teaching this class.
Mr. Callahan also teaches physics at St. Joe, and he has a special interest in the St. Joe Observatory, the building outside of a small strip of land that splits the St. Joe Pond in 2.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Callahan is working with students to reopen the observatory and use its massive telescope to peer into the distant night sky. He already has held one session last month where people could see Saturn and its rings.
Mr. Callahan and the Astronomy Club hope to schedule more night sky viewings.
So the reason that we opened the observatory back up is because there's a really nice new telescope in there that hasn't been used very much. It was put in there the year before I left here the first time, about 6 years ago, and we're opening it back up to give that telescope some use. It also gets the students, and not just the students, but also adults excited about space and talking about science and engineering. So that's what we really like to hear.
The religion department has added in a new day of service for each grade this year. Today was the first one. The senior class met today for work at the Carmelite Monastery in South Jackson, home to the Carmelite nuns. Seniors left this morning and will return this afternoon. The junior class will have their day of service next month, helping several organizations throughout the area. All hours will count towards service hours students must earn.
The seniors are going out to Carmelite Monastery in Jackson to help the nuns out. They've always got something they need to get done, just working outside, moving things around inside, yard work, all that kind of stuff. It's a good way to serve the community, and I think it's a great place to have our senior service day.
Living Out Loud continues to develop into a pretty good program at St. Joe. 7th and 8th graders met in the small faith community at 7 a.m. on Thursday for breakfast, fellowship, and time learning about Jesus. Be sure to check the schedule to see when the next group of students will meet. For more information, please see Ms. Catherine Blanchard.
We have breakfast and just have fellowship and talk about different things related to our faith. And this week it was for 7th and 8th graders. We're doing a series on prayer and how to grow in our prayer life and grow in our relationship with God. And we had a good turnout. And the next one is for 9th and 10th graders on October 27th.
The junior class took the preliminary SAT, more commonly called the PSAT, on Wednesday in the Fine Arts Auditorium. This test is practice for the SAT, which helps determine college admissions. The PSAT also serves as the National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. Strong scores on the PSAT could translate into scholarship money for college.
The fall play, the staged version of the popular film A Christmas Story, is less than a month from opening night at 7 p.m. Friday, November 11th. Performances are also set for 7 p.m. Saturday, November 12th, and 2 p.m. Sunday, November 13th. The cast and crew have been hard at work learning lines, building sets, and blocking scenes. Be sure to come support the cast. It's been a busy week in sports, and it doesn't stop tonight with the big football game.
That's so true. Were y'all going?
Yep.
I'm dressing up as a pink Bruin.
I'll have more in sports, including volleyball, cross country, and soccer.
Don't flip the channel, because Bruin sports and weather are next.
Hello everybody, I'm Gia Picarella, and this is the Bruin News Now Sports Report. Topping Bruin sports this week is football. The Bruins remained on the road for the second week in a row, this time heading east to Meridian to take on the 3-6 Lamar Raiders. And a lot is riding on this outcome. A win in Meridian could see the Bruins host a first-round MAIS playoff game in 2 weeks. The Bruins entered tonight's big game with a 4-4 record and are riding a 2-game winning streak. Last week, the Bruins defeated Sacred Heart Crusaders on the road in Hattiesburg. The Lamar Raiders were supposed to play Park Place last week, but Park Place canceled its season, leaving the Raiders with an open date. Last year, the Raiders defeated St. Joe at the Bill Rayfield Field 26-20 in overtime. The Bruins are ready to win on Lamar's home field tonight. In Lady Bruins soccer, their season came to an unfortunate close last week against Lamar Academy. The Lady Bruins and Raiders battled it out in 2 overtimes. The game decider was PKs, and it was not in the Lady Bruins' favor. Even though their season did not end as anticipated, the Lady Bruins had many key players that were rewarded for their talent. Rachel Donaldson, Stella McCarty, and Ava Catherine Stephen received an All-Division award. Stella McCarty and Emma O'Brien were selected for the future All-Star Game, and Rachel Donaldson played in the All-Star Game on Tuesday at MRA. Lady Bruins volleyball season was a year of rebuilding and was not as successful as last year's state championship team. This year, the Bruins ended their season with a 3-17 record. The Lady Bruins plan to continue to work hard throughout the rest of this year in training in hopes to improve their season.
Our volleyball season is performing and doing very well this season. We just got done on Saturday finishing the MAIS JV tournament, and we got 3rd out of 11 teams there, so I'm super excited.
Bruin Cross Country returns to the action on Saturday when the team competes in the Watson High School Classic at Choctaw Trails in Clinton. This will be the last cross country meet before the MAIS Championship, which is set for Monday, October 24th. The Saturday meet at Choctaw Trails is a massive event featuring 93 schools with teams from all across Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama. Bruin runners are ready. Girls run at 9 and the boys will run at 9:30.
This year's gone really well for cross country. We've had a lot of Runners have some personal accomplishments, most notably William Fugate ran his first sub-16 5K a couple weeks back. We're also getting some college interest with some of our runners. Of course, William is getting looked at. We've got Mabry Hearn, who's also getting looked at. Angela Bethay and Cameron Castorino all receiving interest from collegiate programs.
Winter sports is quickly approaching. Look for more on Bruin boys and girls basketball, as well as boys soccer, on next week's edition of Bruin News Now. That's it for this week's Bruin News Now Sports Report. I'm Gia Picarella, and go Bruins!
Hello Bruins, it's your weatherman Trey with your Friday game day forecast. If you're braving the interstate, heading over to Meridian for tonight's big football game between Bruins and Lamar, you can expect clear skies with temperatures expected to be in the upper 60s at 7 p.m. kickoff, falling to the low 60s by the end of the game. In Jackson today, look for highs in low 80s and lows in the 50s tonight. Brr. Remember, it's sweater weather, so take a jacket to the Meridian game tonight. If you're not going to the game and plan on going to the fair and riding rides and eating fried food, pack a jacket because it's going to be chilly. The best part, I declare there is no rain this weekend. You can thank me later. Over the weekend, you can expect extra cold weather Saturday and Sunday mornings. You can expect highs in the 80s, lows in the 50s. If you're going out this weekend, this is the last weekend of the Mississippi State Fair in downtown Jackson. Bundle up. Well, that's it for your Bruins Now forecast. And remember, Bruins, I'm Compretta with the weather.
Well, looks like a pretty good weather forecast for this weekend, especially for the big game and, well, you know, the fair.
Yeah, I went to the fair last weekend. It was a beautiful breeze, not too hot, not too cold.
Got any big plans for this weekend?
No, I'm just working at a Lake Carolina Golf Club this weekend.
I've got a soccer tournament. What about you?
Going to New Orleans, maybe see the Saints play.
Ooh, be safe.
I'll try.
Well, that's it for this week's edition of Bruin News Now. Thanks for joining us. Remember to visit our sister website, The Bear Facts, at www.thebearfacts.net for the latest in St. Joe news.
Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you will find a complete archive of every edition of Bruin News Now. Then join us next Wednesday for the BNN Midweek Pause, followed on Friday by our regular edition of BNN. I'm Emerson Irwin.
I'm Trey Compretta.
And I'm Connor Odom. Have a great weekend.